Well, friends, we have more breaking news from San Diego Comic-Con related to Star Trek. This time it's Strange New Worlds. Now, I haven't watched this, but I have been informed there is possibly some copywritten music. Yes, it's copyrighted, but my brain doesn't allow me to think that way, so I may have to chop this one up, but let's go. Paramount Plus, your home for maybe some things Star Trek if we didn't get rid of them.
I was able to jury-rig the Kirkovian serum that turned
Kirkovia
humans back into a Vulcan.
Okay. So that serum is obviously a reference to Season 2 when Spock turned human or whatever. Interesting things that we can glean from this very first scene here. Pike still piling his hair up. Uhura working on a new hairstyle. I feel like they're going out of their way to give her different hairstyles leading up to the one she had in TOS, and I kind of like that. And then we have Pelia back there, so she didn't die yet. Obviously, duh, you see her right there. So that means we didn't kill off unnecessarily another chief engineer just to get Scotty into the mix. Now, we know Scotty was in Season 2, so whether or not he'll be a main fixture here, maybe we'll find out in this little sneak peek thing.
Should be able to do the same for us. Only in reverse.
The sensory change is brief. The feeling is instantaneous. I will guide you through the sensation until you are acclimated, which should not take long. Physical adjustments follow soon after.
Alright, so it appears they are doing the reverse of what they did in Season 2. It looks like they're trying to turn the entire staff here, the entire crew here, into Vulcans, pure Vulcans, 100% Vulcans, which is interesting because Pike's human, obviously, Uhura's human. La'an, augment, or I guess technically she hasn't showed any genetic enhancements yet, but she's an augment. Are they going to do Pelia? Because she's not human as well. She is lanthanite, which is also going to be intriguing if this works on her. I don't know.
I would suggest a deep breath. By the time you reach 3, it should be over.
Okay, they are doing her. So
1.
Apparently that means lanthanite physiology is the same as human because this was designed to work on humans to turn them Vulcan. So interesting tidbit of science we just learned there, or the writers didn't actually think about that.
2. 3.
All right.
My emotions feel
overwhelming. All I cannot handle.
Okay, so I guess they did think about the fact that Pelia is more than your normal human. I'm still curious to find out if lanthanites are a different species, or if possibly they're just a subclass of humans that evolved the ability for immortality, I guess you could say. The little acting there did feel a bit over the top. It really did remind me of like an improv class. The kind of, oh, this is our version of Saturday Night Live, and you just acted a fool and overacted just to have fun with your friends. That is seemingly the type of acting they were doing there as they were turning into Vulcans, at least in my opinion.
You don't feel anything?
No. And to be honest, I'm a little jealous. That looks like fun.
This feeling is...
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Is okay. I can get behind the science of them turning into Vulcans. What is the science of adding hair gel to Pike's hair?
It's unusual.
My perception has increased. Everything I once found dull now seems to be fascinating.
Poop.
I wonder if the serum did not work on you because you're lanthanite.
Honestly, I had the same problem with it.
Okay, so they definitely did think about the lanthanite thing. I'm still not entirely certain how the entire hair situation changed, specifically on Pike there, but also on Uhura. They're definitely going for the over-the-top zaniness this season, playing up on what they did last season to an even higher degree. That Spock turning human episode was definitely played for laughs as kind of a farce, so seemingly they're trying to follow that up and do a similar story each season. That's what I'm getting from this.
In the 1960s and the 1990s and last July.
Since Pelia cannot become Vulcan, I can cover her part of the mission.
I suppose I can direct you from the bridge. 5 Vulcans should be more than enough down
Wait,
there.
hold on. I'd like to go back to that time travel stuff. Let me see here.
1990s, 60s, and the 1990s, and last July.
Okay, so I'm assuming that's supposed to be a jokey reference to, like, drug use or something. She was unable to be affected by, I don't know, LSD or something like that. But the fact that she said the 60s and the 90s, which are two hotbeds of, obviously, Star Trek series that were pretty high profile. The 60s, obviously, the original. The 90s, most of that Berman run took place in the 90s. There was a lot of time travel to the 90s. So am I overthinking the fact that maybe she's referencing some of the time travel changes that occurred during those times? Or is she just making a fun drug joke?
Since Pelia cannot become Vulcan, I can cover her part of the mission.
I suppose I can direct you from the bridge. 5 Vulcans should be more than enough down there.
4 1/2.
Spock is only half Vulcan, whereas the 4 of us
are fully Vulcan.
Is that not logical?
Wow. Jeez. That's just... All right, Spock. All right. Insert
Indeed.
Zachary Quinto punching people. Alright, so I'm assuming this is the music I'm not allowed to play, so I'm going to go ahead and mute this for a moment. Because I'm assuming it's just cool walk down the hall stuff. Alright, that's Vulcan guard. What is this? Is this Spock's marriage? Is this going to get T'Pring away from him or something? I'm not certain what's happening here. Alright, let's take another whack at this. Yeah, alright, gonna mute that again. Let's keep going here. Oh, nice phaser rifle there you got, Lon. Da 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 da. Nailed that. Ooh, is that ooh, he's back! He's back! We got some chief engineer, well, he's not chief engineer. We got some Scott!
Wow, your ears are so pointy.
Number 1, 4 1/2 Vulcans to beam down. Energize.
Come on, man! Come on, Spock! Come on!
Status report. Mitchell?
They've
entered the
entered
structure. Mitchell.
That was fast.
All areas inside the structure are secured.
Are we ever going to learn if is that supposed to be their replacement for Gary Mitchell or a sibling or something? That's my hunch, that's my assumption, but I don't think we've had any real confirmation on that.
This will likely take a few hours. There's a very complex...
Radiation normal.
What? Already?
Una's looking great there. I don't know if it's what she did with her hair, but she looks...
Enterprise.
She's looking a little
the
different.
Energy system is now repaired.
All atomic levels are nominal. The energy source is functioning perfectly.
Perfectly?
You sound upset.
Well, yeah. They're making me look bad.
We have completed the mission. You may return us to Enterprise.
Thought this would be a bit more exciting, but whatever. Hello, shore leave.
So, this is interesting that they are giving us this first look, but they're not giving us the actual parameters of the mission. They're just giving us the farcical Vulcan stuff.
I haven't even broken into a sweat.
Welcome back.
I believe we will still be able to reach Permanente 3 within expected travel parameters.
I'm almost disappointed not to be able to take further advantage of my temporary Vulcan abilities.
Agreed. My communication style has never been so efficient.
How was the mission for you, Mr. Spock?
Ironic. Because I was constantly reminded that I was logically the least Vulcan member present.
Don't worry. That's about to change. Any second now.
So suddenly I'm awash with questions. Physically, they were turned into Vulcans, which obviously makes sense. But doesn't being a Vulcan take years of training and, repressing your emotions and just, assuming you're going to go through the Kolinar and all that stuff, which I guess you don't have to as a Vulcan. It just seems odd that they suddenly have such a grasp and control on all of their Vulcanness. Again, definitely overthinking something that is 98% here for a humorous kind of gag, really. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I bet they're stuck.
What was that sub-vocalization?
What do you see?
For reasons unknown, the Kirkovian serum does not appear to be working. It appears that we will remain Vulcans indefinitely.
Roll credits! Strange New Worlds. That's the first look of season 3 of Strange New Worlds. I'm definitely intrigued by this being their choice. Obviously, it's not as wacky or out there as something like the musical or, turning into puppets, which, by the way, I still think is going to happen at some point. Doing an episode entirely in black and white, which I thought they were doing in season 2, but they didn't. They said they were going to swing for the fences and do things even more out of the box and off the wall than season 2. I don't necessarily know if this was a great choice as a first look. It seems like it's a sequel to that once a season trope they're running into as far as the Spock having to deal with his different sides and everything. This feels even more ramped up to the absurd, specifically how their hairstyles and everything changed so drastically. Ironically, they're going well beyond the realms of what's logical in an episode where they're supposedly all turned into the most logical versions of themselves. I am interested to see where this episode goes, but I would have preferred probably a look at the whole season. Maybe a couple different clips of what's upcoming instead of just showing us an actual scene from an episode. Not that I think it's a bad choice. Actually, I believe that's what we got last time when we saw that scene of Ortegas running through the hall with the fur headdress or whatever, only to subvert our expectations when we saw the season and learned she did not get to go on that away mission. Here's hoping she gets a whole episode this season. I honestly don't know what we can expect from this one clip. I guess it just means that we're taking things up another notch in season 3, away from the grounded reality and more into the absurd zaniness that season 2 tended to tackle. Now, season 2 had some really grounded stuff, like Under the Cloak of War, which was probably my favorite episode of the season, so here's hoping they can still strike that balance and give us a bit of best of both worlds. Not literally, of course. I don't want to see the Borg or something. But what did you think of this? Are you excited for Strange New Worlds? And let's play a little more because maybe they'll give us a date. Alright, so apparently they didn't give us a date, which probably means we're looking at next year until we get this, which is conceivably why we didn't get anything more. They still have a lot to shoot and a lot to edit. Leave all your thoughts down below, like, share, subscribe to all those YouTube things. Just please don't mock Spock and make fun of him. He's gonna hurt his feelings. Until next time, computer, end program.